I'm on the road. I didn't do any filming on the way to Elkhart this morning, and I did not film when hooking up the trailer. So I had a guy hooking up right next to me, so I didn't want to film anything, and then he kept coming over and talking to me. So I just was trying to get it hooked up and get out of there. But it's a pretty big trailer. It's an Alliance travel trailer, 600 pounds. I think it's like 37 or 38 feet long. I cannot find a length on the tags for the trailer, but I looked it up online, and because I thought I was getting like a 30-footer, and it's a lot longer than that. But luckily, I'm just going to Slinger, Wisconsin, which is not a very far run. I think it's like under 4 hours to get there from Elkhart. But because it's pretty windy already. I think it's like close to 30-mile-an-hour gusts. Of course, they got a pretty decent sized trailer on, so and I must have blown a fuse. I think somebody mentioned it in one of my other videos, but none of the jacks now are powering off of my truck. So I think I blew a fuse because they used to power. And for some reason, this one didn't even want to power off of my battery very well. So I have a feeling when I unhook this trailer, I'm going to have to manually, with like a ratchet or a wrench, I'm going to have to manually crank the jack to get it off the truck probably. I've got my other battery. I did charge that up the other day, so maybe I can get that to power it. I don't know why this battery, the big one that I bought a couple weeks ago, is already showing that it's like no charge left. And I already charged it once the other day, so that's kind of this. I bought it at Dan's Hitch in Elkhart there. And like I said, I had to charge it once earlier this week. I think it was like Monday I put it on the charger. And then now it's time to put it on the charger again. I just checked it, and it shows it's like halfway dead. So when I get home, I'm probably not going to when I get home, because this is my last run before I leave tomorrow for vacation. So I don't think it would make sense to put it on the charger and then leave it for 10 days. So I'll probably, when I get back in town, toss it on like the trickle charger overnight or something, try to get some charge back into it. But yeah, it's low on power already, so I'm gonna try my other battery, or maybe I'll try to see if I can figure out which fuse it is and replace that when I stop at the dealership. Yeah, because I couldn't get it to power, but I mean it was powering, but it was very slow, so I don't know why, but it was not powering off of my truck at all, and it was powering slowly off the battery, like very slow. So even though the battery showed it had like half the voltage it needs, but yeah, so I got an issue going on there. Also, maybe I need to check, I wonder if I'm losing anything through my battery box connections. Maybe that's something I gotta check too. Either way, I gotta figure that out. But I'm not gonna worry too much about it. Like I said, I'm going to vacation, so there's not really a need after this trip to really worry about it. But other than that, I mean, it's raining, kind of nasty weather, but it's not terrible. So it's supposed to be really warm today. Like, I think it's gonna get up to like 75, so that'll be nice. And then tomorrow I'm going to do some work within my business for maybe like a half a day before I head to the airport. So I did a video, or like a short showing the trailer I bought. I picked it up yesterday, my power washing trailer. So kind of looking forward to using that. I need to get some stuff done to it, because with like gutter cleaning, I need to be able to carry either a 32 or possibly even a 40-foot ladder, and I don't want to put a ladder rack on this truck. So I'm gonna have fabricator put together a ladder rack on that trailer that I can carry, you know, up to a 40-foot ladder, so that I can just bring that and then everything will be on the trailer. I don't have to have, my goal is to kind of keep everything out of my truck. When I had a trailer before, my truck would get just loaded with materials and supplies and tools and stuff. Like the entire bed of my truck would be pretty much full for the most part, and then like the back seat I would have stuff. And I want to avoid that, especially now that, like, back then we didn't do any camping. We didn't have a camper, so like in the summertime I could have all that in my truck, and it wasn't a big deal, because if we were wanting to go out to dinner or something, we just take the wife's car. But I don't want to be in a situation where we're getting ready to go camping and I have to spend an hour, 2 hours cleaning out my truck, and then put all the tools back into the truck when we get back so I can work for the week. Because it's important to have like everything that you could possibly need on a job. Like I like to have it with me. That way I'm not running to the store or running back home or anything like that to grab what I might need to get a job done. So my goal with that trailer is to get the ladder rack put on it. I'm going to put a rack on it to like hold my surface cleaner, which is just for cleaning like concrete and stuff. My last setup, I would just put it in the bed of my truck or like strap it loosely to the side of the trailer. So we're gonna have like an actual mount for the surface cleaner, mount our ladder rack, and then I want to do, if I can find enough room, I want to put like toolboxes, maybe like a tongue toolbox, and then a toolbox for like a job box or something somewhere on the trailer that I can keep like chemicals and things that I might need. Try to keep everything out of my truck. So that's my goal. Keep everything on the trailer, keep everything out of the truck, and then eventually I'll get that extra truck for work and RV transport. But even with that, like I don't want to have a ton of stuff for my power washing business in the truck in case I'm using it for like RV transport and stuff. It just, I don't know, I want it to be fairly clean and organized and stuff like that. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, check out the short video where I do like a quick walk around of the trailer I bought. Pretty nice. A little bit different than the trailer that I had prior. I bought it at a different place. This one was it was actually in Indiana, right over the border. It was like Lansing, I think. I think that's Indiana. I ended up getting Indiana plates on the trailer, so I have to go get Illinois plates still, but I'm gonna run those temporaries for the week that I'm gone. I have my friend that works with me. He's gonna be doing some work, so I just told him to just run with those trailer plates, and then when I get back, I'll go get it transferred to Illinois and stuff like that. So that's pretty much it. This trailer's going up to Slinger, Wisconsin. Should be a fairly quick run. I had to leave late today just due to I had to drive my daughter to school, so I didn't actually leave my town until probably around 8:15, 8:20. And of course, leaving at that time, trying to get out through Chicago and stuff, I hit a bunch of traffic. Took me a little while to get to Elkhart. Luckily, Elkhart's a little bit closer for me, so I saved a little bit of time. So luckily, I was going there versus like Middlebury or and those other towns that I pick up from. And like I said, luckily I'm just going up to Slinger, Wisconsin. It said it was like right around 3.5 hours from Elkhart, so not a crazy long run. Alliance is one of the smaller manufacturing. Their manufacturing plants are pretty big, but they only, as far as I know, they only have like the one storage lot. Which is, it's not like as big as, not anywhere near as big or full usually as like Jayco or Coachman. Even like the Forest River plants that I've been to, I know they have a bunch of different lots, but it seems like the Alliance, there's less quantity, but there was a lot of trucks in there. So there was, usually at Alliance I see like maybe one other driver at the same time I'm there picking up. I had to wait in line to get the paperwork. There's a guy in front of me, then there's a guy waiting behind me, and then when I was hooking up the trailer, there was probably 5 other trucks in the lot. There was a driver that pulled up next to me, and like I mentioned earlier, he was trying to talk to me and stuff, but yeah, so he hooked up right next to me, and I was really surprised. I don't want, not judgmental at all. Maybe he was newer as well, which I can understand that, but he had no DOT tags. I don't even think he put a plate on the trailer. He had blacked out windows, couldn't even see inside his truck, and no battery. He didn't hook a battery up. He was in, out, very basic hitch setup. So I don't know who he was running for, but I'm always like paranoid, making sure that I got everything the way that it's supposed to go, and worried about getting stopped and inspected and stuff. And then you see stuff like that, and I'm like, how that guy probably has 1 million miles towing or something, and he's not worried about nothing, and I'm over here worried about every little thing. And I don't know if there's like somewhere in the middle that you should be like, do you have to be super paranoid, or like if you get stopped, are the inspections fairly basic? I know it depends on the level of inspection you get. I'm sure a lot of it depends on the state and who inspects it and stuff like that, but I feel like you see a lot of drivers that are missing a lot of these items, and maybe they just haven't been inspected or something. I don't know, but I was just kind of caught off guard. Really nice guy. He didn't really speak any English, but he offered, because I was having trouble with the jack going up, he offered his wrench to me, but I told him, I was like, I got one if I need it. The jack is going up, it's just going slow. And then he came over and he couldn't really communicate what he was trying to say, but I think what he was trying to get at, he was pointing at his GPS, and I think he was asking if we were going to the same dealership. He was going somewhere in like southern Indiana, so I just told him I'm going to Wisconsin, and I think he understood what I was saying, but I don't know if he was hoping to follow me or run together or what, but we were going the opposite direction, so that wasn't going to work out. But like I said, that was the busiest I've seen that lot ever as far as like drivers in there, but it is the end of the month, so I know a lot of these units have to get moved to either like storage lots or to the destination, so you know they're going to be a lot of drivers probably all weekend. I know my dispatcher, he forgot I was going on vacation. He called and wanted to know if I wanted to do anything for the weekend, and I told him technically I could probably run a shorter load tomorrow, or like I could have taken this one tomorrow and I would have been fine, and I could have taken a longer one today, but I really want to get some work done within my business tomorrow, and I'll make way more money working for myself tomorrow than I would doing a load for RV Transport. So it just, the one part of me, I'm like, I should just take this load tomorrow and grab like a load that pays $600-700 today and ran a little longer, made that extra money. But I can just work tomorrow, and I think I got like $2,000 worth of work set up tomorrow with my work. So that's a week's worth of pay for me in RV Transport. So it doesn't make sense for me to skip out on my work to do RV Transport right now. So if I had some people hired, then it would, I could have guys working, and then I could run a load for RV Transport, but I just don't have the business in that situation right now. So this will be my last load before vacation, and then when I get back, I'll try to hit it hard for a couple weeks before I take another vacation. But when I get back, it should be pretty much the kickoff to balancing my business with RV Transport and just trying to get them both done. So I'm sure it'll be a little bit of a learning curve there in and figuring out how to balance the two, but I'll get it figured out. We'll get it done. So this will be the last video for a while. Probably, I mean, I'll maybe get a short or something in while I'm in Florida, depending on if I'm doing anything cool. But for the most part, not going to see me for about 10 days.